Being attractive wasn't a big goal at the moment, but annoying Mom wasn't either. So I clammed up and looked out the window as crowded, exciting city streets turned first into bland suburban shopping strips and then into endless, boring trees and fields of corn. "Look, cows," Mom said as we cruised past some black and white blotches in a pasture. "Sure, they seem sweet," I said, "but I bet they have a mean streak when you're not looking." "It's normal to be a bit phobic about unfamiliar things," Mom said, in her best patient parent tone. "But you don't need to be afraid of cows. They're harmless." Harmless and boring, I thought to myself, like everything in the country. Not so bad? We finally arrived at our new home, a 2-story wooden farmhouse. It had a crooked roof, a rickety front porch, and too many places for bats to hide. "Would you mind if I don't go in yet?" I asked. Mom looked overwhelmed. She just nodded and said I could go explore. I felt a glimmer of hope, a small hint that country life might turn out okay. Mom never let me go out alone in the city, so maybe a bit more freedom would be one consolation of living here. I wandered off, clutching my violin and not paying attention to where I was going. It didn't matter. It was all just a blur of green and brown. I imagined that a big Saturday night here meant sitting around talking about corn, or watching it grow. Suddenly, I heard something I wasn't expecting, a blaring, jazzy tune. I pushed through some corn, only to come face to face with an enormous cow. Then another hot jazz riff floated through the air. I spun around and saw a tall kid playing a beat-up old saxophone in the clearing. His music was fantastic, and he didn't dress the way I figured a country kid would. Where were the muddy dungarees and a plaid bandana? This guy was wearing clothes that made him look cool, like a famous performer. Not bad at all. I couldn't resist, so I took out my violin and began to play along. The boy looked surprised, but he didn't miss a beat. We improvised a cool duet, and by the end, no kidding, the big cow's tail was swishing to the rhythm. "I'm Jason," he said when we finished. "I play out here because the cows don't complain when I mess up. You must be Celia. My dad said you were moving in. I can't believe you play violin. I've been looking for someone to write songs with." I looked at Jason and his dented sax, the cheerful cow and tall corn, the majestic trees in the distance, and the sun shining in the brilliant blue sky. I could feel my perception of country life already changing, and I had a feeling it would change a lot more.